And when you come back home, they will still be sleeping. Your children for days, they will not see their dad. Oh, here you are familiar. You know, I remember those days when I was of Theology Central University. I mean, it was such a hectic time for me. Going to school, and I wanted to. And the traffic on the road was so bad, so I would have to leave the house at 5 p.m. or sometimes 5:30. And what I did was I would wake these sleepy, poor, sleepy children, dress them up, put them in the car, drive them, allow them to sleep in the car. I go to the office, I park the car, make the doors ajar, and allow. And then around 7:30, wake them up again because their school was nearby, and then I would just drive them to school. I didn't have, I mean, I couldn't afford to leave them and go. At least I needed to interact with them. In the morning before dropping them in school was so valuable to them. They are asleep. And there are many fathers in Accra living with their children, and yet the children do not even see them. Except on weekends. I know how it feels. So many fathers are inconvenienced, but we should make every effort. The least opportunity we have, let us break the jinx. Sometimes we may even need to sacrifice. How many fathers visit the and check on the performance of their children, get to know the teachers, and so on? Trust me, that was one program I enjoyed when my and I would go to the school, interact with the teachers, get to know the teachers teaching my children, and interact with them, get to their books and so on. The teachers will be there, and some of us had that opportunity. Of course, it didn't mean that you stop your work in the middle of your work. Stop it. Go that is in vain. Don't allow situations to keep you from doing what you have to do. The excuses are too many. They may be very genuine excuses. We can always work around certain things. If you miss one, don't miss the other. If you are in the position to change it, change the timing for the sake of your children. I remember one time I had to drive the kids to school, and wow, they did. And so I just allowed running late. So in the car, I told the kids, you see, now Daddy is going to be late because you wasted all the time. You kept sleeping. When I tried waking you up, you wouldn't wake up. And my girl told me something I would never forget. Students should know that you have kids. I'll be late for class. Yes, but daddy, your students should know that you have kids. I said, wow. I again, it settled everything for me. My students should know that I have kids, which means sometimes I have to make decisions in favor of my children, and my students should deal with that. Yes, sometimes make decisions based on that. Other things may suffer. Kids, make a sacrifice. Don't allow anything to inconvenience you to a point that you will have to neglect your fatherly. So some of the things that make fathers or fatherhood problematic, or what makes fathers dysfunctional, one could be two. Number three, insensitivity. And sometimes to do, fathers may still have the time and the opportunity to do what they have to do, but are just in and the family. And I'm talking only about themselves, who are not bothered about what their wives go through. He gets up in the morning and he knows what to do, but then he will just leave money there and then go. Oyeja. Yes, Wawuba must continue. Onye Papa Biara, who would leave money at home for the upkeep of the family, and then when they go out, spend about twice or thrice the amount they left at home for the entire family. That is. You are just. Inyim zowa de iye. Bibiare nsu kwande ibeye. Bur. Sometimes we even, some fathers even pass on their anger with their own marriage. They pass it on to the children. Sabi mo framan di wanya ohwe. Wefu wa kuma ba wetu kwara pai waju wo hena onje. Man fan kobo fra no hono do. And sometimes we blame the children. We've had situations where the parents are separated or divorced, and the man would say, well, if you want me to pay your school, where the man has found himself another woman and the children cannot cope with the new woman. And then the father will use that as an excuse. Especially when you have children involved. The question is, do you consider the interest of the children? We're not talking about the issue of divorce now. But I'm bringing it in. Because of divorce, a janum, a none, a janawenya, some. Eja na na hombo efu nti no men ware bio yen ware bio no ye den mo frama wom. You the man, rid of your wife and get a new wife. Well, I'm not here to argue with you. Your children, the children have not said that they need a new mother. You may need to replace your wife, but so what do? Consider them. But some fathers are so selfish that they do kuma 20 years. Se mi jai me ye na muhoba toma me jai. I care less what happens to children. Oh please. Moframana hahe. Dealing with an issue. In fact, one of my programs, later on, a young lady called. And the father divorced the mother. She was living with the mother, and the father refused. She did not go with the father when the father was leaving the house. Meanwhile, it's the mother who also took, who was closer to this girl more than anybody. Either you leave that woman to come and live with me, or I paid. Should even this be an option? And so the girl also decided to live with the mother. And then financially, she had to fall on the uncle. Okodur baby wanted to sexually molest her before he would help her with her fees. Papa did the baby. He had all the risk living with a new woman, and then your child is being molested. And unfortunately, she also needed the support and couldn't tell the mother and yielded. And she had to run away from the house. Live with a mother, a pregnant little girl. She had to go and live with friends. And these girlfriends didn't that environment to living with the parents now. Nyame ina obu ayi ma abofra no 1 kg abofra ne ngu ma narankasa nso wewu amfem. Ne chi no the parents ebieni though divorced wohwe na wakafa abofra ba na wohwe. I had to intervene. Sana work of, and the question is, why should it be so, Father? Why should you be so insensitive about the plight of your children? A mother, even if you are angry with the children, paying for intention. About Zina Wubaya, able to my cadet, Mun show you. Ubikra to me cadet, Minuwe chum, I'm no longer your father. Why not catch you there? You can just use your mouth to disown a child. A child will ask you one day, or sorry, you find it's above abewiase na ibe jina baby akade menyi nyi hwie bio me twa amadinum me twa afima membem me jiwudina afima will mu enyem ba bio wana no ka cho oye wana na ba. What does heaven know? Heaven knows that you are still there. And so no, don't be that insensitive. In my friend now, what Nyamidi when I'm look, they are a heritage. But the Nyamida Mahen or a Hena said today, your boy one say ye Nimida ya. Say ye Nimda with a ye, Nansu Equine yenya, a Sikani Yuho, and at the genius in you, yet I say, honor bandama, it can also be dealt with. Our irresponsibility is then heaven will not forgive us. Into January was a yepede ye no. Don't worry, I'm still dealing with the theme, the Father in you. We will pick it up as we go. But there is so much even in this mere introduction. Because we are talking about why today, why fatherhood seems to be problematic today. What is going on? Dentina ejanum warbo hensumbu abribiara. Dentina enanum rubo hensumbu embar rubo hensumbu. On the yakada number one, we are ignorant. In the maybe why yenyim. And so no, though we are trying our best is still not enough. And then we sometimes we even know what to do, but we are inconvenient. Way. But these two situations can be overcome. But this third situation, insensitivity, when we are just insensitive, it is a deliberate selfishness. Will not forgive such a father. And so no, ejanum, mitzbesia. Nyame ya duma ya botua do na next week na ye wie na with introduction ye go, and then we get in you in there yentumi amfa phone lines no na nyame ya duma ebia next week. But this program is fruitful family, but I'm dealing with the subject of fatherhood, and today we looked at the father in a year. And I think we're still having a few technical issues today. You know, it's like the something is wrong somewhere. Say when I work in Facebook, Instagram, if there were challenges, forgive us. And I even wanted to, but I couldn't get that. And one venture. But we are still on this subject, God willing, next week at 12 o'clock noon. You will be join me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Just type in JB Gate, join these issues, and God will bless you and heal your family. And is in the house. I think we missed him last week, but this week he is in the house, and we want the here na honor or the hot prayers now. We'll catch you again. Number you can 020 711 3173 020 711 3173. May God bless us all. Na oyenya mini pia yabasan yeshia na watche the end. Asofo John Mensah K. Chitu is in the house.
Yes, Daddy.
And
thank you, Daddy.
good.
Good work.